She gonna be glad these little novels came. She be all in some romance novels. What's up, baby? I got that book for you you had wanted. The Jones Sisters. That right. You know your man got it for you, baby. Check that out. Alright, while you busy with that, I'm gonna go count some. Enjoy, baby. Oh, I can't wait. Chapter 1.
Chapter 1. Larisha, a.k.a. Tweet Jones. I got out of bed, looking back at Clay as he slept soundly. I screwed his ass good, I thought, as I gathered my red and black panties and bra off the chair that we used for a kinky sex game. We liked to play with ice and chocolate. I knew in the back of my mind it was wrong. I always felt bad afterward. I don't care how good he made me feel. It wasn't just the lovemaking. I've never had a man so caring and gentle with his touch. His kiss made me melt as I imagined it over and over again in my head. Just the thought was making me hot again, but I dare not wake him up. My sister would be home any day now, and if she ever caught me in bed with him, well, I looked around the room to make sure not to leave anything behind. He said he still had a few days to make sure the sheets were washed. I'm quite sure I believe that. Hell, Lacey didn't even know I was still in town. Clay paid for my apartment, and he was paying for me to stay even longer if I wanted. I hated the way I felt about him, but he is so damn fine. 5'8", deep chocolate like the frosting on a donut. He had pearly white teeth. He's a dentist's son. His dad made sure his teeth were on point, and Lord, his body was like that picture on the front of a fitness magazine. Not 1 inch of fat. He's all muscle. I looked back at him as the sheets rested across his ass as he lay on his stomach, showing the top of his back where he had a tattoo of an eagle. I just shook my head after admiring this hunk of creamy caramel flesh. I shook my head. Where are my jeans? I thought, as I tried to be silent, walking around the room quietly. I knew he told me my sister would not be back until Sunday, but she likes surprises, and even though she said that, and today is only Friday, that doesn't mean a thing. I knew her well, and she could show up at any day or any time. Her business trip could be cut short. Who knows what could happen? And shit does when you're doing wrong, and that's just a fact. That thought got my heart racing. The fear of getting caught started to come on me hard. I walked in the living room, where the glasses we drank champagne from still sat on the marble coffee table, with 2 empty bottles on the floor. The romantic fire he had burning in the fireplace was still burning a bit. My eyes quickly searched the room, looking for my black Calvin Klein jeans I had on when I got there. I stopped, slipped my panties back on. Being butt-ass naked was not what I wanted to be if that door opened. It would be hard enough trying to explain why I was there. As I started putting my bra back on, I suddenly felt warm hands on my back. It was Clay. So you covering this sexy body up? Why? He said, with his silky, sexy voice. He slowly turned me around. His brown eyes captured me instantly. He started kissing me all over my neck as his hands gently cupped my breasts. I felt the heat between my legs picking up fast. Baby, I whispered, Lacey might come home. He said nothing but kept devouring me like a love-starved puppy. He begins to slip each nipple in his mouth as they now stood erect from the touch of his soft hands. I watched his eyes looking up at me with that hypnotic way that he used to get whatever he wanted. I was like putty in his hands, and he knew I would never say no. He began packing me up to the bedroom. I knew then it was going to be another round of hot lovemaking, and I have to admit, I wanted him again. Every drop. After making love for another 3 hours, he had to go to his office to meet with clients. He and my sister have a commercial real estate company. He builds huge buildings, and she finds the contracts. I can't hate. She is very good at what she does. The Texas account could make them rich, and they were doing very well now. Clay was building the tallest building downtown Atlanta had ever seen. It would be part business and part apartments. He wanted me to have an apartment in it that we could use as a getaway. I wanted more from him than just a screw when time permits. My sister didn't have time for him. She and her high-maintenance lifestyle and her bougie-ass friends never knew how to treat a man. I didn't talk to my sister much because we never got along. My dad always said I was never going to amount to anything, especially after I got pregnant at 13. I did lose the baby, though. My sister never forgave him for that comment. I think the stress I had from him caused me to lose the baby. We got close through them times until I found her in the back of Daddy's car, giving head to a boy she knew I liked. I never forgot that. And even though in the back of my mind I wanted revenge, we finally got past it when we got older. I kept telling myself that this isn't revenge, it's being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I didn't even see this whole thing coming. I had come to visit Lacey while Clay was on a business trip, so it seemed to be cool that Lacey and I got to do some sister time together. We had fun going to the shopping malls, eating at the best places in town. I was going to the University of Illinois to study law, so we were out for spring break, and Lacey thought it would be a good time to come for a visit. I really loved Atlanta and made a plan to move there when I graduated. We had another sister, Latoya, who was living in Texas. She would come to family reunions, but that's about it. I always got the feeling she thought we were too worldly for her, so she chose to stay away, and that really was fine with Lacey and me. We couldn't drink around her, so it was better for us. I had rented a black Jeep and had the canvas top down. I had my DKNY sunglasses on, with my nice tight white shorts on. My sister calls me Hoochie Mama. Well, I did catch men breaking their necks as I got out to put gas in the Jeep. As I headed back to the house, I had no idea Clay had come back to town. When Lacey opened the door there, he sat on the couch with his feet propped up on the table, drinking a Miller Lite. It had been a while since I had seen him, almost 4 years. He stood up as I walked in. This man was so much finer than I remembered. I was kind of in shock as he stood to his feet. He had a t-shirt on, but you could tell his body was like a Greek god. I could tell by the look on his face he was a bit shocked at me, too. I wasn't the sister he saw many years ago. I had filled out, too. I don't want to brag, but my hips, butt, and breasts were now banging to a sexy size 12. I was skin and bones, my mother used to say about me. I could see the look on his face, too. It was like he was undressing me with his eyes as he walked toward me. Larisha, is that really you? He asked, now almost down, walking toward me. Yeah, it's all me, I said, smiling from ear to ear. You look really good, he said, giving me a hug. I didn't know it then, but it would not be the last time I got a hug from him, and more. I know Lacey told you how fat I've gotten, I said, still looking at the shocked look on his face. Now, don't get me wrong, the Jones girls were all cute. Had boys all over us when we were young. Lacey was the first to tell us about sex because she lost her virginity first. I had been having sex but got pregnant. I guess you can say I was lucky back then. Yeah, my baby sister has grown up, Lacey said, turning and walking to the kitchen. Tweet, I'm making your favorite tonight. Baked chicken and wild rice and corn on the cob. Tweet was a name I got when I was young. The kids used to call me that because of my skinny legs and long eyelashes I got from my grandmother, Bessie Lee. You want something to drink? Clay asked, still looking hard. Maybe after I get out of the shower, I responded, heading up the stairs to the guest room. Okay, well, let us know if you need anything. Lace, I'm gonna take a shower, I said as I walked past Clay. Okay, let me know if you need anything, she answered. Clay grinned as he walked back and sat on the couch. I saw him take another look at my ass as I started up the stairs. A hot shower would be good, I thought, as I walked into the bathroom. The hot Georgia sun had made me feel sticky. I looked in my suitcase and put it on the bed, eyeing all the sexy things I had packed. I laid out my skin-tight, low-riding jeans and a red wife beater. I knew it looked sexy on me. It showed a lot of cleavage, but I can't help what Mother Nature gave me, right? I really wanted to put it on, but Lacey might have something to say, so I folded it and put it back in my suitcase. I walked into the bathroom after peeling off my clothes. I could see my body in the mirror. Every time I thought about Clay, I could feel myself getting horny as well as wet. I got in the shower. It felt so good running over my overheated body. Before I knew it, I was sticking my hand between my legs. I could see Clay's eyes undressing me in my mind, and that turned me on even more. It didn't take long before I felt an orgasm hit me like never before. My whole body shook as the warm water bounced off my nude body. I leaned against the wall, deep in lustful thoughts. My hand is working frantically, trying to end the overwhelming twitch that was pushing very hard for a second orgasm. After a heated explosion, I opened my eyes only to laugh to myself, now tripping over such a taboo thought. This was my sister's boyfriend I was now fantasizing about. I knew I had to push that thought out of my head, and quick. I pulled the terry cloth towel off the rod and started patting the water off my body. I didn't know how I was going to feel seeing Clay after such a fantasy. It had taken me years to accept he was now my sister's man, a mistake I was still living with after all these years.